Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to BMRL Network. I'm Chris Mayo, the voice of BMRL, and we're here at Chicagoland with the BNR Cup Series. Qualifying and getting ready to start as practice is now officially over. And we're going to see our first cars make it onto the track. Starting with, drumroll please. Alright. Mike Slaughter out on the track. Well, pulling out on the track. Alright, Zach Deutscher makes his green flag start here. Down the backstretch into turn number 3. So far, Nathan Alal up on the podium. Deutscher with a 30.08 on that opening lap. That's good enough for the third spot so far. I have the hiccups. Ooh, he's gonna bump it up even more to 29.88. That's second place right now. Josh Small coming out onto the track. Gonna get his opening laps in here. Hey, and I'm joined in the booth with Will.
Hey, Chris, how's it going tonight?
Oh, pretty good. Just finishing up qualifying here. Got a name that I haven't seen yet on the poll so far. Nathan Alol.
Is it a Lowell or a Lou?
Blue.
Yeah, I was just kind of like, it almost looks like Alex Pillow, but without a P. And like you added a A and some. So I have no idea. A newcomer, like you said. So it could be a Lowell, it could be a Lou. It's French, so it could be your pronunciation. The more I think about it, now that I've heard you try to pronounce it, so I like your pronunciation, Alu, right?
Hello?
Yeah, right. Like that's what you said, right? Like I said a law. What did I say? You said a law.
Yeah, I think I said
said
a
a loo.
lol. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
a lul sounds better.
Oh wow! Look at how close we are with the qualifying. The practice times were just about as close, but my golly, those qualifying times. And the grid is set now that qualifying is over with, and those SDK took away the qualifying lap time. But my goodness, I don't know how to get back to that whenever the page resets, if you even can, with like holding a mobile phone. But yes, Nathan Alal. Zach Deutscher is the front row. Then row number 2 will be Christopher Campbell and Mike Slaughter. Great to see CC with a top 3 qualifying position there. Matthew Hunsaker and Robbie Bice brings out the 3rd row. I'm not used to doing the rows like you are, Chris. My apologies. Troy Daggett and Xavier Anime there. I never can pronounce his last name, but we go way back. And 7th and 8th, 9th and 10th, Anthony Lane and Brandon Moore. Brandon Moore kind of way back in the field, halfway back here. Josh Small and Pete Woodrum, 11th and 12th. Joe Stipe and Philip Bridgman, 13th and 14th. Dell Rapp, Matt Bryant, 15th and 16th this evening. Jimmy Hudson, Paul Lawson, 17th and 18th. Bill Hells and Brian Huntley way down the running order down here, 19th and 20th. And Kevin Roy rounding out shotgun on the field, 21st this evening at Chicagoland here in Joliet, just down the road from Chicago. You can see Chicago in some of the back shots. Once we get going, I'm assuming we can see it. That pace car going to have to go down tilt-a-world, it looks like. Man, you okay, Brett Bodine? Anyway, so yes, we are here at one of the better cookie cutters to some fans' opinions. This D-shaped mile and a half, they don't run here anymore in the real world. Here in the real world, great song, country western song, Alan Jackson. Anyway, so what's the banking here, Chris? 18 degrees in the corners, so pretty steep, mile and a half standards concerns. 11 degrees in the tri-oval. Back straightaway, you have 5 degrees of banking. Now let's talk about the back straightaway for a minute, Chris. You know, as I do, fellow driver like ourselves, this track, whenever I say it's a D shape, it's a sloppy D, because it's a very I'm trying to combine some words there. It's a very oval, very true oval, because you got to constantly put that wheel at about an 11 o'clock angle. You cannot straighten that wheel. You got to hike it back to the 1 o'clock, maybe 2 o'clock angle to pivot it back to the 10 o'clock angle to turn into turn 3, right, Chris? And green flag is out here at this sloppy D mile and a half, let's call it. BNR Cup Series underway, Chris.
Yeah, I had to go ahead and reload my
apologies.
trading paints, as that number 15 car out there in front has no paint, but he has no paint. For the second download of trading paints, there's still nothing there, so...
Maybe he just wants to be a Rick Ware-inspired car.
No sponsors, no nothing, gonna come out here and pretty much have a dominating opening lap here.
To be honest, he's in a Chevy, so can't really call him a Rick Ware car. They don't race Chevys anymore. Do you remember their year, or like the couple of years where Rick Ware Racing were like everything? Like they had every car?
Yeah.
That was great, wasn't it? You're not allowed to do that anymore. You got to pick and make and stay with it. But yeah, it's really early goings. Only 2 laps in, and we are already slicing and dicing these 21 competitors. Only 3.5 seconds separates the field at the moment. But man, it's tight up here. Deutscher and Campbell almost touching, going through 1 and 2. Now, like I talked about, once we get into the race, we can get some onboard shots, cockpit view of what I was talking about before the drop of the green flag about you're always turning the wheel. If you're an Indy car, ever race any Indy cars here, it's very tiresome. Gets tiresome fast because you're always turning. Here we go. So you're always in play with the wheel. You see it. Oh, drivers, you come a fine line of extending that entry to the wall, and you're going to hit the wall. You may skim it because you're trying to stay off of it as well because, like I said, you're turning. You're always turning. It's almost like Vegas, but not quite because you have a short back straightaway at Vegas where they're racing at today in the real world.
Here we go, Zach Deutscher on the outside, approaching that lead.
Of Nathan in the 15 down low in that slick black car. So 3-car breakaway, then Troy Daggett back there lurking, just making his presence felt. But Campbell trying to, decide which lane to kind of put his car to go with because looks like Nathan down there in the 15 has kind of stalled out. Just want to say a low or a lou. I think a lou. It's French. It's got to be a lou, right?
Right. Yeah.
So a lou. So Rusty Wallace inspired paint scheme there. I don't think that's a Rusty car, is it? It's a Rusty inspired car. I can't tell. I'm still looking at the screen share. I don't have the actual there's 13 laps to go in the actual race, man. Actual race, more important at the moment. So in a minute I'll be able to tell. Hey, he's trying. He's in 13th. I need a caution. Well, we need a caution. I forget you're a Larson fan. The other Chris that I was doing this last season with, ironically, Brian got people named Chris back-to-back seasons to do. I thought that was funny, right? Anyway, so he's making a comeback. The old Chris was a Chase Elliott fan, and I'm like, I guess it's still Team Hendrick, so yay, but not, Chase Elliott.
A couple of three-wide moments there.
The only time I root for Chase Elliott is like if all my other favorites are like gone, right? Like I don't want Logano to win. I don't want FedEx Man to win. So who else are you going to be stuck rooting for? Chase Elliott? Okay, sure. Anyway, that's my fan hat on. Now let's throw that off and hopefully not see that the rest of the broadcast, Chris. Anyway, so 9 laps into this race, people hate whenever I do that. So I'm just saying I'm not supposed to do that. We still have a tight-knit battle for the lead as we're trying to look and see as others battling back here as well. But looks like Huntley trying to make some progression up the field, but not really. He's stuck back there. That's what we were just looking at. Yankees car. Brian found him a Yankees car, but he's in a Chevy. And that's probably why he's stuck back there. He's not used to racing those Chevys, but he found him a Yankees car. And, man, he's a big Yankees fan. Me and Brian, got to put that fan hat back on, Chris. Me and Brian big Yankees fans. They're going to the World Series this year if you're baseball fans, baseball holics. Oh, big storm a brewing as far as this pack. Oh my, we got the 54 of Bryant. We got the 52 of Wonder Dell Rep there. So they're going at it. Then you got Philip Bridgman, Joe Stipe, and then back there behind them, rounding out that 5-car battle is Jimmy Hudson in the 6th. So as the battle for the lead, we have had a lead change again happening. Deutscher has been passed. Man, oh man, 3 wide going into turn 3. This is a great battle. Maybe we could get a replay for the... contact, but man, they get it straight. That's amazing. It's amazing. Turned into Kyle Petty for a moment. So Look at this. Brandon Moore is drove up to the scene of this crime. Not really a crime has been made yet. No one has caused a caution, but my apologies for calling it a crime, but it was turning into one, right? A crime that never happened. I was going to say maybe get a replay for the battle that was the lead, but it's still ongoing up at the front. As, man, we can't really take our eyes off of this fighter squadron that's turned into a dogfight. Man, oh man, Bridgman has now gone to the point, but now Wonder in the 52, Wonder, Del Rapp trying to take it back. Campbell has spun something wrong with the 68, who qualified in third position. He's down in the grassy knoll, gonna have to, contact is made between him and the 27. Who's in that? That is Robbie Bice. Robbie and him have a come together here. Out of turn number 2. Looks like one was kind of coming down, the other coming up. They just had a coming together. Unfortunately, Troy Daggett, last season's BNR Truck Series champion, nowhere to go. And Mike Slaughter in the 14, nowhere to go. So that's going to send Campbell on down into the spiraling, like I said, grassy knoll down here. Luckily, it's still grass on iRacing. I think, didn't they remove that? Or is that's
At
Kansas?
Chicagoland?
Is there still grass at Chicagoland in real life? Or
I don't remember.
I thought, I can't either, man. I know they removed it at Kansas, right? Like, is that? Oh, okay. So you did pull up the pass for the lead moments ago. So pass for the lead before the touch happened to Campbell. So looks like Nathan there gets a good run, good momentum entering turn 3. That's really what you want. You want a good momentum entering turn 3. You can set up hopefully a good pass. Maybe the person in front of you hits the bump and comes up off the bottom. That might have looked what happened to Deuscher. So very easy to do. Turns 3 and 4. There's a bump there in the center of the corner. If you hit it just right, you're gonna walk the dog. It's unstoppable. You never know when you're gonna hit it. It's gonna be different. Every lap is different around here. You're not gonna have the same lap twice because of it being that sloppy D. It's not a perfect D like Las Vegas, Kansas. Where's another perfect D? That's it, right? Kentucky's not, well, kinda.
Nashville, kind of.
Yeah, Nashville, kind of. But then, the rest of them are either tri-ovals or quad ovals, or, like I just said, this sloppy D here.
All right, so biggest mover. We got actually three big movers. Brian Huntley up 12 positions, James Hudson up 12, and Dale Rapp up 12.
Man, Logano's gonna win, and it's not the Pennzoil 400. Get out of here! But it's that Steve Park / whatever throwback looking pin. Not spoilers again, everybody. Spoilers. Oh my! I'm terrible. Sorry.
It looks like Mike Slaughter. Oh, he did get a part of that.
Yes, he was part of that crash. Got to remember that was a 3-4 car crash.
Yeah, I forgot about that. I was gonna say he lost 14 spots, but that's him, Troy Daggett, Chris Campbell, all 3.
All right, Chris. I'm starting to think everybody named Chris has short-term memory loss. Chris, okay? Gotta I'm not throwing people named Chris under the bus or nothing, but I've worked already with enough people named Chris. I'm not saying that 2 is enough, but I've also known a few. I'm just messing with you.
I know. Alrighty, pace car gonna pull off, and we got Anthony Lane up here to battle it out for the lead. We're sure losing 4 or 3 spots. Oh, he's gonna try to thread it down the middle.
No.
Very tight.
I like the paint scheme. I would like one of those like 22 cars just because like the paint scheme, right? Like that. It's a cool paint scheme. Great restart here. Everybody trying to get what they can get. That's when you really want to try to pounce and move, because after that, this track has turned into a track that kind of be very gradient on tires. So you got to be careful. You want to conserve these low profile, no sidewall tire. There we go. Got that out. For some reason that was a stretch this evening.
A lot of free wide going on here.
Almost 4. Anthony Lane, not sure if he took right sides or what, but my Atlanta, he all over the thick of it here.
Dang, I thought it was getting good up here where Zach was, but kind of thinned it out a little bit before I could get there. There we go. And that 81 Anthony Lane just falling back.
Yeah, like I said, not sure if he took right sides or what, but it's costing him now if he did. Let me see how...
Let's see, he spent... Yeah, only 9 seconds in pits, so yeah, right sides only.
Brian only spent 6 seconds in the pits, so that's fuel only, I'm assuming.
Saving those tires. And it's going to be one of those races with the tire. It's going to be a tire race, definitely, but these guys got 4 sets of tires over the wall. Only 100 laps, so I'm not sure why you wouldn't take tires there in case, you know, that's the only yellow that we get.
Yeah, like you say, it could be the only yellow, but fuel mileage, we're going to have to pit again because fuel mileage at 1.5 miles in the BNR Cup Series on, 70% fuel? I'm trying to remember.
Yes.
But anyway, 1.5 miles BNR Cup Series, we normally see 40, 45, maybe a little bit more than 45, but that's normally around that fuel window, right? It may be 50, so we could see pit stops being extended to maybe lap, what do you say, Chris, 60, 65, somewhere in that ballpark, but we're still going to have to see a pit stop. But like you say, only 100 laps tonight, so yeah, you could have took a set of tires. Don't know why you didn't.
Bridgman making a charge to the front, going outside Brandon Moore for that 3rd place position. Matthew Hunsaker, last week's winner at Texas, sitting in the 6th place position right now.
Yeah, trying to carry that momentum from winning last week forward to this week. Another 1.5 miles. Maybe he could go back to back.
And what a last second, like last millisecond pass there for the win last week.
Most definitely. That photo finish that we had last week, pretty much, so.
Yeah, the tables have turned. Philip Bridgman involved in every caution last week, I believe. now up in the third position.
Yep, sometimes you're the bug, sometimes you're the windshield. Momentum can turn around, or say sometimes you just forget about last week and go on to the next race, so to speak. And you pretty much have no other choice, really, but to try to do that.
And the 15 now. Nathan dropping all the way back to that fourth place position. Robbie Bice up in that first position. So everyone around Zach trading places, but Zach still sitting in the second.
"30 laps into this race, only one caution. Different strategies afoot as far as people taking tires under the first caution, people taking no tires, just some fuel. And you have people trying to repair their damage and get back out it again."
Almost a stack up right there, 5 cars deep, but we do have a car in the wall. Oh, the 54, Matt Bryant, lost a lot of ground there. Four off of the wall there.
Three wide yet again here, so we've seen it all race long. Matt Bryant back in the wall, so trying to stay out of it, but yet, what do you do here at this track that can be just as tough as Darlington, it seems like? You have so many different lanes to choose from here, almost 4 lanes at this track to choose from, all the way up to the wall, down to that white line, and even on the front straightaway, you can kind of go down onto the flat. And I'm assuming in these flat bottom Gen 7 Cup cars, it's awful bumpy on the flat on the front straightaway, so even coming up to speed on the apron, I bet it's a challenge with these Gen 7 cars. Oh, look at that 4 wide. Coming out of turn number 4, right behind Jimmy Hudson.
That was weird. Kind of like unfocused from.
Mm-hmm. So that was Rapp, Small, Bryant, Kevin Roy, I believe that was 4 wide there. Now that the race is over, I can pull up the broadcast on YouTube. I forgot to share the broadcast on YouTube. Well, on the Facebook. Me apologies. Normally I'm good about doing that. So Troy Daggett, after being involved in the early caution on a drive-back recovery mission here early on, well, almost halfway, so must have to stop saying early on.
And Brian holding on, though. He hasn't fallen back that far. Anthony Lane back to the 19th position after restarting in second.
Look at the battle for second real quick, Chris. It's heating up. We got Hunsaker and Deutscher exchanging blows here. So, and Robbie Bice trying to drive away. He's loving this because that means the longer they stay side by side, they can, hopefully he can, in the 27, drive away, but all about how these drivers can navigate each other. As you see the Pulse that are lurking in fourth position. Like I said, as Chris did as well, early goings at the start of the show. Newcomer, Nathan Alou.
Hunsaker looking for that possible pass here. Oh, we got a car on the apron, 42.
Paul Lawson down there. Yeah, Hunsaker looking for that clean air, trying to find a way by.
Not sure what happened to Paul. Let me scroll. I don't think I didn't get any red highlighted issues. So. Get pit or anything. He pit on lap 50. Yeah, no off tracks or anything. But here we go. Oh, the 27 makes contact with the right or the left rear. Not gonna have it. But that's
a big bottleneck for the lead. 3 wide again for second place.
Yeah, Nathan gets to jump up in there. It's funny, like, he starts out in the lead, but it looks like he's got the long run car, as we saw on before that first caution. After the laps were kicking down, he came back to the front. He didn't drop that far back, but now from 5th back up to 2nd, looking for first possibly.
Yes, this is turning into the longest run of the day so far. First caution coming out at lap 15. So this has now exceeded our longest run of the day by far. As now Nathan looking to the inside.
Ooh, iRacing just.
Yeah, having a good big time. Slaughter drove back to 5th position. Bill Hells, he's another big mover at the moment. Where is my phone? I haven't had SDK scoring in a ever, so like now that I have it, I kind of tend to forget about it. So is that Bill that is a big mover? Yes, it is. 11 positions, right? 13. Yes, my apologies. It refreshed, so there we go.
And Brian showing that those old tires, they aren't slowing him down. He's actually out here making passes on these guys that have taken new tires. Right around Xavion. Xavion did take tires on that stop, so maybe Brian's just playing conservative.
Uber conservative, but like you said, I would have taken tires, but he didn't feel the need to take them, and he's really showing it at the moment. Maybe he just wanted to have that heat cycled tire on his car. He preferred, how some drivers prefer to have, they're already been baked a little bit. They have that heat cycle on them. Maybe they were just getting good to Brian, and everybody else were like, give me some new ones, Harry.
Right, and I mean, up 10 positions from where he started, and when we started this race, we really didn't see him pick up anything, so who knows if he would have got new tires, would he still be back in the back? Nathan out to a quarter-second lead over Hunsaker. Oh, little checkup going out for. Chris Campbell back up to the 10th position.
Yeah, Christopher Campbell, he's really trying to be on a drive-back recovery because he qualified in 3rd position for this race at the halfway mark now. So I believe he has a strong, run-capable car. He is surely, hopefully, able to get back where he started, no doubt about it. I have no doubt that we could be talking to Campbell at the end of this thing. Right now, though, all good battles spread throughout this field. We're looking on, seeing Philip Bridgman's pace at the moment. Looking down the running order, you just see how tight some of these battles can be. I know there's a decent gap between 6th and 7th position there, but 21 seconds in total separates the leader to 18th position. But doesn't mean that there aren't battles all throughout this field. Like you're seeing Brandon Moore driving up now on Bridgman, and Daggett's here as well. So then Deutscher and Slaughter's going at it for the final spot on the podium at the moment, because I'm not sure what completely happened. He was with Hunsaker and Alou, but now it's just Alou and Hunsaker up at the top spot battling for that position. But now, like I said, pit stops. Dale Rapp. Oh, he's 2 laps down, so.
Did on lap number 50.
And then Bryant. So pit stops happening at the moment for some drivers. But, yeah, you have the battle for 3rd position raging on between Hells and Deutscher. Slaughter watching that battle. And then Campbell just got by Pete Woodrum for 7th position. Brian Huntley trying to follow Campbell through this field.
Like we might have a driver going into pits. Yep, Matt Bryant. Pete Woodrum in a Yankees car as well. Joe Stipe on pit road. So
pit stops happening for some drivers a little bit earlier than what I thought. I thought they would be able to go a little bit longer, but that's obviously not the case for some, like we already foreseen. Hunsaker not really going away from Nathan in the 15, so, but Deutscher really kind of ailing back here in 5th position before this round of pit stops. So that's something to watch for when they come out. As far, oh no, Daggett, oh, miss. That's going to be a penalty if he proceeds to stop, right? Or is he just going to have to come back around? What's going to happen? I know that'll be an unsafe pit entry. So he's... Oh man, I'm pouring salt into the wound. Hunsaker pitting with Hales, Slaughter, Deutscher, Bice, Huntley, and your race leader Nathan Alou, Brandon Moore, and Anime stay out on track, 88 and 4 respectfully. So.
We see Brandon Moore drop down. And
Brandon Moore is going to stay. He has a Dell Jr. moment, true Dell Jr. moment coming out of turn number 4. If anyone's going to get to the mark that I said, it'll be Brandon Moore, I do believe. He just hit lap 60. I said 60-65 earlier. So thank you, Brandon, for at least letting me be your pit crew. Or your crew chief tonight, and I guess maybe you didn't know it, but hey, at least I got somebody's strategy right, Chris? Yeah. Anyway, he has a moment, the transition nearly bit him coming into the pit lane. Did he get the cargo down in time still? Man, oh man, he about pulled a Matt Kenseth. He about pulled a 2 for 1 there, because, remember the last lap by the pit, the pit before lap, he scraped the wall coming out of turn number 4. So, and he hits the marks right on its head, and right sides go up. Matthew Hunsaker will have the lead over Alou in 2nd position. Slaughter is right behind them too. So 1st, 2nd, and 3rd right on top of each other. And where is this going to cycle Brandon Moore out? Will he stay on the lead lap? He will indeed. So this is good for Brandon.
About 5th, 16th.
Yes, sir. Looks like 14th, maybe 13th here.
Oh, yeah. Nice. Robbie Bice underneath Chris Campbell here. Robbie Bice seems to have a very fast car after pit cycles. But does he use those tires up too early? Because it kind of fell back on that last one going into the pit cycle.
Yeah, he was the leader at one point early on, early stages of that run. Now fallen back to 6th position, 8.5 seconds off the lead. Hunsaker currently in that clean air, leading this race now since that cycle of green flag pit stops. Nathan Alou in 2nd position in the 15. Hopefully we've been pronouncing all this right. Mike Slaughter in 3rd position. Zach Deutscher in 4th. Bill Hells in 5th. That rounds out the top 5. They are all under, might as well say, a second and a half of each other. I know that may say, a second and a sixth, or however you say that. So a second and 6/10. There we go. Oh man, just as I said that, it popped up to 7/10. Oh well, I'm not going to get too technical.
Nathan Alou under attack by Mike. But like I kind of touched on earlier, it seems like Nathan comes to the life deeper into the run, so if we stay green, we might see Nathan get back up there and take the lead here, as that's more than likely their final pit stop. With 33 laps to go.
Slaughter gets by Nathan in the second position there, around the outside too. So now trying to maybe set his sights on Hunsaker in the lead. Lap 69 laps complete here. BNR Cup Series under the lights here at Chicagoland Speedway.
Mike Slaughter working on some lap traffic. Brian Huntley looking to pass Chris Campbell. Right up underneath him. Oh, Nathan Alou under pressure. Zach Deutscher coming up underneath.
Oh, Hudson kind of tags the wall there out of turn number 4.
Yeah, James Hudson gonna find himself a lap down. Nathan's still staying ahead of the two here. Zach's still searching to try to get around him, but can't quite clear him at all.
2 cars now 1 lap down, and they are fighting for that lucky dog position. Bill Hell's right there as well, trying to be a podium contender here in the late stages of this race. That battle for 3rd position, extra spicy. 3rd, 4th, and 5th right there, coming out of turn number 4 with the 2 lappers. Troy Daggett and Del Rapp as well, a lap down, and Matt Bryant 2 laps down. .25 laps remaining. Matthew Hunsaker still leading this race after coming out of the pits pretty much with the lead, having a good pit stop, able to come out on the apron. I'm pretty sure had a good battle on the apron, up to speed lap, and gets ahead in the clean air. But Slaughter trying to chase down Matthew. He's coming into view right now. Been a real good race so far tonight, Chris. 22 laps remaining. Only 1 caution tonight. And historically at Chicagoland, I've always pretty much seen races like this kind of play out like this. Almost go caution free, or can go caution free, or maybe just have a couple of cautions sprinkled here or there. It's can be rhythmic track. You just don't ever want to lose your momentum. Good battle for 3rd position still. Hell's all over the back of Deutscher. Josh Small in 15th position. 19 seconds off the lead lap. He would be the next car maybe to be in the danger zone, but 15 cars currently on the lead lap, just to talk about that for a moment. As you see here, this battle for 3rd position. Deutscher trying to kind of go every which way he can to maybe break a toe, that drafting help, so to speak, of the 53 machine. Meanwhile, the battle for the lead, Mike Slaughter still ever present on the back of the 3 car.
I don't know, he might get him.
Now, yeah, he still has plenty of time left in this race. 18 laps to go, but he's right there. We've seen before in the past, early on, Slaughter have the long run pace. I believe, he could just be waiting for maybe Hunsaker to kind of slip up more, or maybe just those tires wear a little bit more. 17 laps around here is quite a long time. 30-second lap times. Now Slaughter going to the inside of turn number 4. He has a door open. Hunsaker gave him that option. He didn't really try to block him or fight it egregiously or aggressively. He saw that he was faster, and in a sense he kind of just gave him that opportunity. Maybe Hunsaker might be able to build back that momentum like I talked about a while ago and bounce back at Mike. Have Del Rap there coming back with maybe some fresh tires or something. He was awful quick at the moment. 2 laps down though, 19th position, but Bill Hells has currently moved into the 3rd position, taking it away from Zach Deuscher. Nathan Alou back here.
Here he comes.
Yep. He started on the pole, had a good lap in practice, had a good lap in qualifying, but, you know, just as well as I do, Chris, it's not, you know, single lap pace that can win you the race overall. You need that sustainable pace. Christopher Campbell in the pits.
Yeah, and I know someone who's hoping for a caution. Brian Huntley made his way up to the 6th place position, up 14 positions. Not the biggest mover. Bill Hales has the biggest mover at the moment, up 16. But Brian making a comeback.
Still kind of surprised about kind of Brandon Moore just maybe got it off by the setup or something today. Like we talked about before, this BNR Cup Series setup, open setup here. It's not fixed like most of your normal series, pretty much. Like it's almost, I don't want to say it's hard to find open setup leagues, but you know, they're kind of far and few in between. Most of the time you're just on fixed setups, what the league presents to you to run. So yeah, Chris, you kind of run what you brung, so to speak, in this league, in this series. The truck series is fixed, and the BNR truck series run on Tuesdays, but Cup series is open setups, so you can pretty much tinker with everything that is available to you with the car, or you can get a setup from all those different setup shops, workshops, or whatever you'd like to call it, shops, and yeah, go from there. Sometimes they're not necessarily to your liking. You gotta adjust to it. Whenever I used to work on setups and make setups and everything, Chris, I would always tell people, might have to adjust it to your liking. It may not be exactly to your T. $11 laps remaining, 10 to go now, 9 to go coming to the stripe, so my apologies. Just wanting to have the final countdown, I guess. Slaughter taking over the race lead from Hunsaker. Now Hells, that is the top 3 at the moment. Wow. Apparently we are having a cycle of pit stops, so the fuel must have been shorter than I foreseen, Chris.
Yeah, that's gonna make it interesting. What do you do? Do you just come in and get fuel only? Let's see, Zach.
Well, let's go to our handy dandy page here.
Zach taking all 4 tires. Robbie Bice also taking right sides at least. Looks like Brian already out.
Yeah, what do you do here? What do you do? Do you just want to take right sides? Do you just want to take fuel? It looks like some people down the totem pole have decided to go with right sides and fuel, but
I think I take fuel. If I am in the lead and I see that I've gained so much on these guys, I think I take fuel only. Gotta wonder also, can these guys make it? Bryant talking over the radio.
If anyone can, I believe it's Brandon Moore. Because he pitted. He was the last one to pit out of everyone, remember? Remember?
Lap 60. Yeah, and then
Yep.
we, before that was lap 15, so 45 laps, and that was only 40 laps, so I'm surprised to see guys coming down pit road. Although you gotta
So
think we did two laps after that first initial pit stop of under caution.
Mm-hmm.
But still, I think he can make it, yeah.
So you have a Cup, Truck, and Xfinity series?
Yep.
Nice. There you go.
Truck, Cup, and Xfinity, yeah.
What
Cup
days
is
does those run
Brandon.
on?
Monday Xfinity, Tuesday Truck, and Thursday Cup.
All right, because one day I might try to snag into somebody's league, try to get my, just to get experience with iRacing and stuff, right? Once I eventually do get a PC of my own. 4 laps to go, 3 to go here at the line.
I don't know. Can any of these guys in the top 5 make it? Can any of them not make it?
Well, we're about to find out as we sit on the edge of our seat. I cut my fingernails. What was it? A couple of days ago or so. So I don't have anything to chew on as far as fingernails go. Besides, you're not supposed to anyway. That's bad and everything. But Hunsaker right here on the back of Slaughter. With 2 laps to go, they are on their penultimate lap. Hopefully, fingers crossed, nothing happens to bring out a terrible towel. We don't want to see that. So, a lap and a half to go now down this crooked. Well, it's not crooked; it's just curved back straightaway. So, I don't want to lie to you people at home and tell you it's something that it's not. White flag is waving. Bernie the flag man in the flag stand going to have a heart attack because he's only seen one terrible towel tonight. Doesn't know what to do with himself. So Mike Slaughter leading this race. Anybody going to run out of fuel on this white flag lap? I don't think so. I could be wrong, though. I've been wrong before in the past. But Hunsaker can't do anything after leading a little bit of this race, but Mike Slaughter going to come off of turn number 4, Chris, winning this race. Hunsaker right there, Bill Hell's in 3rd. Nathan Alou, our pole sitter, gets 4th, and Brandon Moore going to round out our top 5.
Oh, Brandon under attack. Nope. Pete pulled up, or that wasn't Pete. That was the 12. He was a lap down. Brian.
Yeah, you got your Yankees paint schemes confused. Oh, Josh ran out of fuel. But he will get credited with 9th position there, rolling to the stripe.
Oh, Mike doesn't even have enough to do a burnout. Gonna pull right on pit road.
What a great race, though. That was a tremendous race here tonight at Chicagoland, Chris. Only one caution and great racing all throughout the race. You had comers, goers, movers, losers. Sad to see, sad to say, but that's part of racing. That's great to see here tonight. What a great race.
Yeah, pretty good one. Very clean, like the whole season has been. I think we've had a total of maybe 4 cautions in all of these races. So that's pretty good. Well, minus Martinsville. I don't count Martinsville.
Yeah,
on that caution spectrum.
you keep forgetting Martinsville happened or something, man. You would love that drop a race scenario from your points or whatever. If that was still a thing, like if you could drop a race, you'd be like Martinsville. That never happened. What are you talking about, Will? We didn't go there. No, come on now. I didn't finish last.
Guess if you have to add Martinsville. I think we had
Wow.
maybe like
22.
12, or we had 22.
I don't remember. See, I'm trying to be like you and just be like that Men in Black thing and just wipe it from my memory, right? Like you do. I wish I could do that stuff, man. I wouldn't. Anyway, we're not going to talk about that. So, checkered flag already been collected by Mike Slaughter. He's in that F1 style cooldown room, maybe. Bill Hells, what a tremendous run by Bill tonight. Podium finish for Bill. Matthew Hunsaker tried to go for back-to-back wins, one position shy tonight.
O'Brien was in 6th place before that final pit stop, and dropping back to the 15th.
What could have been as far as points. All about them points at the end of the day.
Alright, but yep. There's the top 18 on your screen. Further back. 19th, 20th. Kevin Roy 14 laps down. Let's see, our biggest mover here tonight was Bill Hales in the 53. Up 16 position. Our biggest loser, Zach Deutscher, in the 20th position.
Yeah, not sure what happened to Zach there.
I wonder if he got caught on pit road. Or no, he's still... Yeah, he pitted on that last one, and he's still on pit road from that last pit stop. So that's why he finished 9 laps down. Alright, but looks like we got our top 3 waiting for us. Let's... Not sure Josh Smalls and Brandon Moore as well. Go ahead and pull in Matthew. Hey Matt, it's Chris and Will up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, what's up?
Oh, just enjoying a very clean, awesome race there. Bringing home second. You led for quite a while here tonight, and we were wondering if you're going to be able to pull back-to-backs, but it seemed like it just came down to a fuel run and I guess tires as well between you and Mike. Kind of take us through how that race went for you.
And at the end there, when I was leading, I realized, oh, I was a couple laps short, so I had to save a little bit. I let Mike go, and I couldn't get back around him after that. So, second place ain't bad.
No, not at all. Yeah, we saw we saw a few guys there at the end with about 9 to 6 laps to go come down pit road. Were you in the danger zone when it came down to it?
Oh yeah, I wasn't. I only had half a lap of fuel left. But it's
So it was definitely conserve time there in the final 10 laps to go there.
oh yeah, I was lifting longer. I could have gone faster, but I had to save something. But I guess so did Mike. So, job did.
All right, well, congratulations, P2. That's P1 last week, P2 this week. You got anyone that you want to give a shout out to or a thank you to?
Just the fellas. Thanks for everybody racing, and thanks to you guys.
All right, man. Well, we look forward to Daytona next week. Not gonna ask, how you foresee your future at Daytona, as that's just one of those tracks where kind of just go into it with no expectations.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, man. Well, congratulations bringing home second place tonight, and we look forward to seeing you again next weekend in the booth.
All right, thanks, man.
Have a great night.
You too.
All right. no Bill Hales, so we're gonna pull Mike up in here, and then we'll see Brandon Moore and Josh Smalls. Hey, Mike, it's Chris and Will up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. Hi, guys.
All right, man. Well, congratulations getting the win
Woo!
here tonight. What a
Thank you,
finish.
man. I was sweating. Yep. Crossed the line with .1 on my fuel
Wow.
gauge, so I was sweating.
That's why we didn't see a burnout. That's what I thought was going on. I was
Yep.
like, no
I
burnout.
didn't even. I was sad, man. This is my first cup win, and I couldn't do it. Didn't even make it to turn one.
I'll tell you what, you stopped the cycle, or you stopped a possible repeat winner here in race number 6. So
Yep.
that's pretty awesome there. I guess
Yeah, it was another
coming,
reason. Yep.
so I guess coming down to like those final 10 laps when your laps remaining was telling you, I guess 10, and you had 10 laps to go, or whatever your scenario was. I mean, was the thought of pitting even going through your mind when you started seeing guys hit pit road?
No, no way, man. I was going for broke. I was trying because the night as the run went on, I was getting closer to where I needed to be on fuel because the car loosens up, you're out of the pedal a lot less. So it was starting to come back to me. If I had, you know, and if we had an extra 10 laps of fuel, I would have been saving more throughout that run. But um, yeah, once I got to about, I think it was 12, 13 to go or something like that, and I looked down and I had 13.2 laps of fuel left. But all right, we'll just keep running and hopefully it stays at that mark. I don't use any extra fuel than what it calculated me to use, and we'll go with it. Fair enough, worked out.
Heck yeah, man. I also saw, once again, week after week, very clean, very fun races to sit back and just kind of watch as, the
Yeah,
little,
no,
battles go on throughout the whole track. And, yeah, just an awesome race, man.
it was a good race. Yeah, clean race. What was there? One caution, two caution. I
Yes,
don't even remember.
one caution lap
Just
15.
one of them. Yeah,
And then
that's
after that,
great.
it was green flag the rest of the way.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, and you consider how much. I'm sure you guys saw it. How much there was people racing each other side by side throughout the entire
Oh,
run. It's not like we were getting that spread out. We'd get in
no,
groups.
yeah.
We'd get in groups that were spread out, but people were racing throughout the whole race, and to have one caution, that's really good. So we get to pat ourselves on the back for that one, I guess.
Yeah, it was definitely a fun one to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, and speaking of like the groups and the battles going on, I mean, there was a lot of 3 wide situations.
Yeah.
Will even
Nope.
saw there was a 4 wide situation. I couldn't quite get to it on the broadcast, but
Oh, I'm glad it wasn't me. I got a couple 3 wides there when I got back in a little bit of traffic, and yeah, it's a little nerve-wracking, um, not just for myself. Like, I know I'm not perfect, man, and I will make mistakes. I've done it already. So when I get in those situations, I'm just as nervous for myself for doing something as the people around me for something to happen. So when you get in that situation, it's scary, I guess, but we got through it. Everybody, like I said before, everybody did a really good job racing. There wasn't, there was a little bit of contact, but people held it together and didn't ship it and wreck people. So yeah, we're good.
all right, man. Well, I'm gonna leave the floor open to you to give any shout outs or thank yous, and yeah.
Yeah, you guys over at BMRL, thank you guys for all you do. BNR, all you guys do. All my teammates over at Southern E, love those guys. They help me out a lot, support me. So um, yeah, that's all I got. Thank you guys.
All right, man. We'll see you next weekend at Daytona. So,
Yes, sir.
gonna be fun, wild, crazy, exciting, whatever you want to call
Anybody's
it.
game. Anybody's game. You just got to survive. There's that's the thing with this Cup Series. There ain't no fast repairs, so um, it's tough just to survive something like that. You don't have to be anywhere near anything, and you could still get caught up, you know, when everybody's so close there. So survival.
All right, man. Well, congratulations getting the victory here tonight, and look forward to seeing you again later on.
Yeah, appreciate it, guys. Hope I get to talk to you again.
All right,
Good to
man.
see you.
See ya. All right, let's get Brandon Moore and Josh in here. What's up, Brandon? Josh, welcome to the booth, guys.
How's it going?
Great racing tonight. Brandon, you finishing 5th. Josh there in the 9th, so both top 10 finishes, guys. Pretty clean racing, too. Just had that one caution there in lap 15. Yeah, Mike, stopping the back-to-back wins happening here.
Oh yeah, he's a fierce competitor.
I did everything to sabotage mine. You see me running out of fuel? Not looking
Both
at my
of us.
gas gauge.
I thought you would. I thought since you pitted last of everybody, I thought you would have the fuel to make it to the end. I thought everybody else was going to run out, and it was going to be a Brandon Moore victory. And then Josh ran out of fuel, finishing 9th. So,
Yeah.
man, Brandon? Did you? It seemed like you were out of position for qualifying. Did you not have the qualifying speed and overall the race pace?
I didn't practice. I got into the session and I went straight to qualifying and qualified
10-4.
10th with 2 laps of practice, which was my qualifying laps.
Oh man, so that's why we didn't see too much Brandon Moore tonight.
Just behind the 8 ball, and then the green flag pit stop or running out of gas on the back stretch.
Oh man,
Yeah, I wasn't watching the fuel gauge. I just like, oh, it's sputtering. I guess I'm out. Which I guess kind of worked out because everybody still had the pit and I didn't. So I got a couple freebies there, putting it in top 5. So it worked, even though I tried to sabotage the whole night.
And then Josh, tell us about your run, man. Like you were battling with everybody. It seemed like all night long. Like you couldn't get away from nobody.
Yeah, it's well, in practice I was running the setup that I've been practicing on all week. And then I didn't practice any qualifying lines. So I put in the qualifying setup, made an adjustment to qualifying setup for the right rear because the right rear, I was burning the right rear off a lot, and the rear was trying to step out, whether I was being light on the throttle or heavy on it. So I was trying to make a minor adjustment. And then when we switched over to the open practice to the qualifying, somehow my setup didn't load in, it got erased. So I loaded in my Kansas setup, which is very similar to what we normally run. It's just that the rear springs are a little softer. So 1 and 2, it was on rails in 1 and 2. I know when we had that long green flag run, 1 and 2 is where I was making up all my time. I know I was 9 seconds back, between 8 and 9 laps before that green flag pit stop. But I kept losing the car on entry on 3 and 4 from the top to the bottom. Only thing I can do was run the middle, but I had to feather the throttle a lot, which was very consistent speeds I was holding there, but they weren't the fast speeds, but it was enough to stay, within grasp of the top 10. But yeah, that side draft when I was fighting with everybody, the only thing I could do was run the bottom in 1 and 2. That was my only savior, because in 3 and 4 I had to lift and trail brake, run the steadiest line I could. I know I got close to a 52 car, which was Dale, which is a very good competitor too in the field, and he was making me earn it. He was not letting me have it. Once he knew I had to run coming off, he would back out and let me have it, and then I would lead the field and then, pull away from him. But just 3 and 4 killed me so much that their springs and that Kansas setup was just too soft for those bumps. So I don't know if I was bottoming out or what, but it was really, really. But I mean, running out, coming out of 2 and finishing P9, I think was a good salvage points day.
Definitely a great race overall. I mean, I enjoy sitting here. I like to think that Martinsville didn't happen and about like 4 whole season. Every week I say that, and Will gets me for it.
Yeah, but short track race, your tempers flaring, people beating and banging. That's what we all like to see. We want to see that, but from the admin aspect, you know, I hate it, because then you got to be the bad guy and drop a hammer on people because you gotta try to police it the best you can and as fair as you can. And then, hey, don't bump people. We just tell people to be aware. If you see somebody lifting early, either change your lane or be patient and pass them, at a later point. But short track racing always throws a wrench into the mix, and it makes it fun. I'd like to see longer green flag runs on short tracks, see how people strategize it out, but unfortunately, we haven't got those very much. So hopefully this year will be different because it's looking up. We have a lot of fierce battles, from the front of the field to the back of the field, and it's a lot better than the officials. I'll tell you right now, this week on officials was brutal. But, but I mean, these guys, they're putting time in, and you can tell who's putting time in and who's the weekend warriors. But I you know I can't complain. I enjoy watching the racing as I'm racing myself, and it's a blast. I enjoy it.
All right, man. Yeah, we move on to Daytona next week, so it's gonna be a fun one. I don't want to waste my time and ask, are you good at Daytona or whatever? Because it's, I know it's one of those. Just kind
I
of have to go
love
with it.
Yeah, definitely. I love drafting. I like I like pushing Brandon. We all like Brandon as a lead car because he runs a pretty
Hold
smooth
on,
line.
Josh. Wait. You don't know about this, Chris, but this guy backed into a win literally at Atlanta Super
He
Speedway.
sure did. I remember
He
that.
Brian messed up, and he just got Brian was going to win it, right? But he slipped on a banana peel that Mario dropped the lap prior, and Brian went for a hayride down in the infield. Everybody went spinning. Like, you got to go back on the. Where can we find? You got to go to 15 Studios YouTube channel, and I think, right, and
I have it saved.
it'll be okay. Well, Josh can show it to you at a later date, and it's amazing. Uh, Tyler Myers, Josh's best friend, has also flipped a car at Martinsville.
Oh, jeez, Martinsville.
Uh, the situation it was Brandon, Brian, myself, Tyler Myers, and another fellow racer. Um, I do believe it was Brandon, Brian, and somebody else 1, 2, and 3. I was sitting P4, P5, battling with Tyler Myers and like 3 or 4 other cars. Coming to the white flag, they were zigzagging, so I changed my line from the bottom line, which we were all hugging and protecting. So I was like, if I can come up a half a lane, I can get a good run and possibly fight 3 wide, 3 wide, 4 wide, coming to the checkered for P3 because we were all so close. So coming out of 4, somebody wiggles in the front. I don't know who was the leader at that point in time. I don't remember, but I know Brian, the one that was on his bumper and applying pressure. Well, as soon as one wiggled, one checked up and one didn't check up. So the one that didn't check up, which I do believe was P3, went to make a move. Well, when they did, they scattered. They all went all different directions. So it caused all of us to, go all different directions. So I go to come up a lane, which was going to pinch Tyler Myers up into the wall, but I was going to still leave him enough room to where he could fight for the position. So when he did, or when I did that, he come down to try to protect himself from hitting a wall. When it did, it bounced me off of him, off the wall, and straight down, but somebody got the run on me on the inside and sent me back up into the outfield or outside wall backwards. And that's not the first time; it's twice back to back. Somebody's wrecked in front of me at Atlanta. So, and I'm not. I like Atlanta. Atlanta's a great track. The repaved surface is very high speed and it's a lot of fun. But the way we race it, like a super speedway, makes it very, very dangerous and very, very nerve wracking because when you try to check up and be precautious that way you don't run the guy over in front of you, the guy that's pushing you and has been racing with you for however many races thinks he can, okay, well, I can just stay on his bumper and we'll be
You can't
okay.
do that anymore.
And you can't do that anymore. You have to check up. Me and Brandon, we practice all the time. He's like, man, I stayed off you, and I'm like, oh, ain't nothing you do, when I'm fighting a wheel up here. And you can't always calm up either and be like, hey, I gotta check up, because you gotta be fast on the controls, and and on the wheel and the throttle and the brake. And there's a lot going on. Yeah, we're racing a sim. It's the closest thing we're gonna get behind the wheel of an actual car. You know what I mean? So it's not easy. It's a pain in the butt a lot of times, but it's definitely a lot of fun. But if we race the '08 surface, you see the same style of racing, but also at the same time you could see when guys are trying to avoid the bump in 1 and 2, trying to avoid the bump in 3 and 4. You can see when the guys are lifting, because you can actually watch the car react, and it's a totally different ball game. You still get great racing, like I said, but
Hopefully that surface will go back to that
I'm
'08 style.
yeah, I'm hoping that they, you know, revamp the '08 Surface. They update it so that way the next gen cars can handle the way they're supposed to there, because they're just very, very, very loose there. If you don't run that apex line, outside, inside, outside, just the right way, you're either loose on entry or you're loose on exit or loose all the way through the corner. And then, like the last gen cars, they're a lot of fun to run there. We run those a lot there, but it's not the same as racing the next gen, because it's a blood sport in this series now. It's a great thing because everybody's fighting tooth and nail for every position, and and it's cool. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot. I hope these guys are having fun. Um, it's usually, it used to be 2 or 3 guys dominating. You got the same 2 or 3 guys in the front, but now you got these new guys coming in, that are showing their talent and their speed and their fierce competitiveness, and it's great. I'm a patient racer. I like to sit back and run my own race and then watch the action up there, and then I'm like, all right, who's gonna wreck? You know what I mean? It's just, and then it's just fun. And then when I go back and rewatch it, I get the same excitement as I was, when I was in there racing it.
Yeah, and we've had 6 different winners in 6 different weeks.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna shake up the
Can
points.
the trend continue next week at Daytona, ladies and gentlemen?
There you go, Will. You got it.
Well, it's Daytona. There's a good chance of that. You probably hit the prediction there.
Yeah, because I
All
know
right.
every time I
Yeah.
try to make my run,
You,
either
Larry
Brandon
Mack,
wrecks
you.
me or I mac it up.
Well, guys, final thoughts, shout outs from either one of you before we wrap it up here tonight, before Chris gets on to the next broadcast he's got to do, and me too, somewhere down the line.
2 more tonight.
Oh
I
boy.
just got one more.
Go ahead, Brandon.
Well, good race. I try to sabotage it. P5, woo. Daytona, woo if I don't die. So we'll find out if it's a woo or a whoa. So tune in next week, find out if it's a woo
Right.
or a whoa.
Hopefully this time when you give me a push going into 3 for the white, you hit me at centered and not to the right.
No, that's the technique.
Well, yeah, but that was a
Not the
hard checkup
technique.
I had to do though. So,
That was
but
a hard checkup. That was
yeah,
just super speedways at its finest.
definitely, definitely. Yeah, thank you for broadcasting for us, and Will, always, the great Will, very informational, very funny fella. So I can't wait to go back and rewatch it and be entertained as always. And thanks for everybody for putting on one hell of a race, and one caution. That's me. That's an awesome.
You know what that means? Next year we just need to do a bunch more mile and a half.
Yeah,
That's what we need in our lives, mile and a half.
yeah, I can't wait to see what happens at Pocono.
That'll be a good one. Pocono
Oh
will be
yeah,
fun. I
everybody's
look
gonna get
forward.
spread out.
I
That
like
tunnel turn is gonna
Pocono.
be vicious.
Oh, it's beautiful. I love that track.
That's because you
Got a lot of
fling it through there.
character. Got a good character. Yeah, you just fling it in there. I mean, you just hang a hard left and then hope it fakes the corner and doesn't smack the wall on the outside.
Mine's
I
always
hate
turn
that.
3. Either underdrive it or overdrive it.
Ah,
Turn 4.
There is no
there
turn
is no
4.
turn 4. The mythical turn 4. It's
There's
a
rain
myth.
in turn 4. We need a caution.
Now, if you got a turn 4 at Pocono, you're turning either too much or not enough.
Well, congratulations tonight, guys.
Appreciate it. Hopefully, we can do it again next week and put on an excellent show next week.
Yep.
All right. Thank you for joining us in here.
Sounds
Thank
good.
you for having
Appreciate
us.
y'all. Good night.
Good night, guys. All right. That is a wrap here at Chicagoland for race number 6. New winner, Mike Slaughter, gets the victory. And we head to Daytona next week, so we're going to keep that streak going of new winners. Or is a previous winner going to get lucky? I guess you'll just have to subscribe, hit that thumbs up, and then turn on your notifications so you're aware of when we go live next weekend. Sunday at 4:20 or 4:25 p.m. Central, 5:25 p.m. Eastern. Be right back here again at Daytona. So have a great night, everybody. We'll see you